I grew up in a little town outside of Atlanta called Smyrna, Georgia. Nowadays, it's just a suburb, but when I was a kid, it was a small town with its own identity. One of those typical post-World War II towns where everybody, all the men had fought in World War II, and it was one of those bedroom communities that you could run around at night, leave your doors unlocked. It was a wonderful place to grow up. Everybody knew each other. You knew the mayor. Oh, I got to tell you, growing up in a small town, of course, one of the biggest things is friends. And I sometimes forget now that I'm older about all the great friends that I had growing up. I was kind of a poor kid in the town. I'm not poor, but I never did without food. I never did without a place to live. But I mean, most of my friends were of a little bit higher echelon of economic standards than I was. But their parents all liked me, and I was kind of personable and would always talk to them. But it was just one of those places that you could ride your bike and as an 8, 9, and 10-year-old and never worry about getting kidnapped or somebody snatching you. And the town revolved around baseball and football at the local high school, and so I grew up riding my bike to the baseball park and watching baseball games and playing baseball at the Little League Park. The biggest days in Smyrna were the day of opening day at the Little League Park at Brinkley Baseball Field, right across from the American Legion. And Brinkley Baseball Field was the place that you could be a hero. And it was so exciting to play an opening day. And you had a game that started at noon, and you played all the way to the last game that started at 8. We might have had, 10 teams, and we played each other that whole day. And I can remember I was a pitcher for C&D Standard Oil, and walking out on that pitcher's mound for the first time, that first game, brand new baseball, all white and shiny, and throwing that first pitch. And I was throwing, trying to be Mr. Speedball, throwing the ball as hard as I can. And one of them little kittens was come walking behind Vernon, and he missed the ball because he wasn't much of a baseball player. And it hit that poor cat in the head and put its head through the chain link fence. We pulled it out, and little old limp body, took it to the garage, to the carport, and laid it down. Well, lo and behold, within about an hour, that cat hopped up. And that cat lived for a long time, but it always walked sideways, kind of. Like one of them cars you see going down the road sideways. That poor old cat never was right, but it lived for a long time. It was all about growing up as a baby boomer, I guess. We were all baby boomer kids. And it was just a great place to grow up as a kid.